Hello, hello, and welcome back to Leadership Solutions with Russ Simon. That's me. I'm Russ Simon, and I'm excited to share with you the third part to this little mini series on how to help create lasting change. So, this can work for us personally if we put it in that context. In fact, that's usually where we need to experiment first, try it, own that, and then we can start to use it with individuals that we lead, teams that we lead, and even organizations that we lead. So, as we jump in today, just a little quick review of where we've been. So, to create this lasting change, we know there is the motivation and the ability that has to be there. Just because I want to do something doesn't mean that I can do something. There's both the skill power and the willpower that the willpower, sorry, there's both the willpower and the skill power that has to be able to go with it. And many times you and I have been in a situation where we've had the willpower to do something either personally or professionally. We just haven't had the skill power to be able to do it. And that's where great leaders know and understand and put tools, processes, resources in place to help us be able to do that. And training is one of those things. That's where I come in. And that's where I want to be able to help you as you help your people, because I know that as a leader, you do have a responsibility to them. And yet, often what we need to do is we may need to bring in additional tools and resources, someone like myself, to be able to fulfill those responsibilities because we just don't have the bandwidth sometimes. We don't have the time to be able to do it. Or we may not even have the skills and training to be able to do it. And that is okay. As a leader, we don't know everything. We can't do everything. In fact, that's what makes up a great team. So you are doing what you do best, and that's why you are where you are. And that's the Pareto principle. You're doing your 20%, and someone like myself comes in with that other part of the 80% that isn't your even whether it's in your time or your skill set. And I get to come in and help you out to be able to do that and fulfill your responsibility to your team without you actually having the person to do it. But you still brought me in, so you fulfilled your responsibility. Next, we've got that social side. So as we think about the team aspect of what that looks like, we want teams that don't just cheer each other on. And I put others here because this is where we are dependent on others for real change to happen. Like, oh yeah, we're going to make this change in our pay structure. It's going to be okay. We're commission based. I'll use that example. And hey, a rising tide rises all boats. So let's do this. We'll all figure this out better. We'll share what works, and we'll build each other while we build the sales and the company. But you got to know like how to do that. How do we help other people? And on that other side of things, that's where I spoke last time to a couple of tools that I've got where I can help you out. Just come out really quickly again. I've got the leadership game, one of the tools. I'm a Maxwell certified coach, trainer, and speaker for John C. Maxwell. So I do use quite a bit of his resources that I'm licensed to use. And then we can also pull from other books just right off the shelf, as I like to say, because they've got great frameworks that we can use and be able to implement the ideas that they've already placed in our hands. We just got to understand it. So many times we consume the information and we assume that that means it's going to happen. But just because we consume it doesn't mean that anything gets implemented. So we've got to keep that assumption off to the side and be very intentional. One of the things I like to point out is there is a difference between intent and intentional. When an intent is a desire to do well, the intentional is the actual doing of the good. And so it's one thing to mean good, to do to mean to do well, but it's another thing to be intentional and actually do it. And that's where we get into the peer help. So one is the leadership game. Another, let me just advance this. This is talking towards DISC, which I can share with you more about. But DISC is about that principle of know yourself to grow yourself and knowing different people's personalities and how they work to be able to use that. And so I'll come in here really quickly and share this as a tool of both helping the individual to know themselves and them to be able to work with them, but then also the team and the organization to understand each other and go from this, like, why does that person do that, to this, oh, now I get why that person does it. And even not just understand it, but appreciate it for what it is and draw upon it for what it's worth. So as we move into the new part today, it's rewards and tools. And the word that I'll use here is things and things. So I'll add one. If we were to do this easy boxing here for remembering, it's I want to, I've got the will to do it, to I can do, I've got the skill set to be able to do it, to working with others, and then with things. So as we think about the things, structurally within the person you work with, the team that you're leading, or the organization, what are some of the motivational rewards that are in place to help out? And again, this is one of those where I can come in to help to just provide some decompression, I guess, while still moving forward. Uh, Consider this. Maybe your team is on a long journey and you've been hiking and walking and going uphill and it's really tough. And all of a sudden, a big bus comes along that you're able to get in and move in and get further down the trail, further faster, and it's less effort. Very rewarding for the individuals, very motivating in that case as well. And that's where I can come in and I can provide workshops for you or continuity training where it could be on the weekly or semi-weekly. We can cater it to whatever you need. But I want you to think about how rewarding that has been for you as you've gone through your growth and development professionally. When a leader or a company takes the time to invest in you and says, we understand that by giving you the time to take this training or be in this workshop, that we are paying you to do that. And we want you to have the benefit and all of the internal rewards that come with that. So there's extrinsic rewards that is where usually things start in a workshop or something like that that can turn into the intrinsic rewards of someone really starting to experience that growth and recognizing the appreciation that they've been given. It's one thing to just send somebody off on a conference. It's another thing to make it an experience for them and let them know we're investing in you and we want this investment to be something that you can enjoy personally and benefit from professionally as you grow. And then there's those tools. So, along with the reward of bringing someone like myself in to be able to help bring about some of those rewarding experiences. In fact, I'll give you one more before I move on. Maybe this is a tool, actually, an ability. It could move between each. Within Maxwell Leadership, we have a really cool um, training that we participate in each year called Live to Lead, where we bring in amazing speakers. This year, for one example that most people know of right now, hot topic, is Jesse Cole. And Jesse Cole is, I don't know what we call him, the GM owner of the Savannah Bananas. And this man is not just on fire and easy to pick in a crowd because he's going to be wearing all yellow. But Jesse Cole is a leader who has really learned to lead from the beginning, and the way that he inspires his people, his is okay. Man, I'm just getting too excited here. I'm sorry, but what one of the things, this is just one of six speakers that we have in Live to Lead, a tool that I can bring into your organization that we can break up or we can do chunk or we can do all at once. But I bring this tool in and we've got these six speakers. We got John Maxwell, global leadership guru, right? We've got Valerie Burton, international coach extraordinaire. In fact, she's my personal coaching trainer. Just wrote her 12th book, The Rules of Resilience. We've got Jesse Cole, who I was just mentioning, coming in. I wish I had Greg's name down. Just profound leader, Greg Rochelle. I'm just slaughtering that one. And then Anthony Trucks coming in. All these speakers. Oh, and we got another gal, forgetting her name, who spectacular as well. And this is one of those tools that I can bring in for your team where we reward them by giving them just a little bit of that decompression time while at the same time moving them forward. We're putting them on a bus where it's like, here you go. Let's move you forward, further, faster, without having to do it on your own. And again, that is something that you can enlist my help to do for you as a leader with the responsibility to both grow your people, take care of the greatest asset that your company has, and to be able to help create change on the personal, team, and organizational level to be able to do it. So if you are looking at your own situation right now, an individual you work with, a team, or the organization as a whole, I want you to know that's where I've been trained and specially prepared to help you, whether as an executive coach for you to help you in your own leadership to connect with that person or those people, to come in and help train your team so that they can better communicate and understand each other so that they can connect more fully and collaborate and move into that creative sphere and be able to make it a win-win for everyone and advance the mission, or to be able to come in as an organizational speaker or to bring in those speakers. Russ Simon, I like to think I do my thing well and I can come in and present. Uh, and then there's the big names like John Maxwell and Jesse Cole, and people just seem to, already buy into that, where they may have to buy into me a little bit at first, but they can buy into those individuals. And when I come into your organization, you're able to reward your people with a tool like that of live to lead, then all of a sudden we come right back around. People who are motivated. They've been given the skill set and the tool set from these individuals to know what to do. They've all got the same message that's influencing them together. They can help each other out with this. And you see how it is just a virtuous cycle of growth and learning. That's the great thing about change, is once we make a change, you know what we're doing? We're probably looking towards the next change. Now I know what it is. We change, we standardize, we optimize, then we got to re-enter, right? Because things stay the same, they're probably going to stay the same. And the status quo won't get you where you want to go. But the cool thing about change, the great thing about change, is that change always elicits change. But growth has to be intentional, right? So change is inevitable, growth is optional. So we have to be intentional. So I hope you'll invite me to be a part of your intentional change. I'd be honored to be able to serve you, your people, and your organization. So when you're ready, I hope it's now, reach out. You'll find my contact information in the description of this video or in the social media platform that you have just landed on this. And if you're having a hard time finding it there, just look me up. Russ Simon, Leadership Solutions, and I'm here to serve. Till next time, my friends, let's go make the change happen and be the change. Bye bye.